September 3rd, 2005. 2 games, 2 upsets, 2 programs that weren't supposed to be here.
Darren Moore, 16-yard touchdown pass to Ty Gunn for TCU. Then it didn't help that Paul Thompson for Oklahoma.
TCU walks into Norman, Oklahoma, where the Sooners haven't lost a home game in 4 years, and beats the 7th-ranked team in the country. Hours later, Clemson's kicker Jad Dean hits 6 field goals, including a 42-yarder as time expires to stun Texas A&M.
Kick is up, and it is good!
That's how the 2005 season began, not with the expected, with chaos.
Leinart, Young, and their legion. By consensus, the teams ranked 1 and 2, with nary a whisper of dissent.
But here's what you need to understand about 2005. This was supposed to be USC's coronation, their 3rd straight national championship, something that had never been done in the modern era. They had Matt Leinart, the defending Heisman winner. They had Reggie Bush, the most electric player in college football. They were on a 22-game winning streak and ranked number 1 with a bullet. And standing in the shadows, waiting, was Texas, with a quarterback named Vince Young, who nobody outside of Austin seemed to believe in. This is the story of what happened when destiny met doubt, when the greatest dynasty in modern college football faced its reckoning, when chaos became the only constant, and where the tush-push was invented illegally. This is 2005.
Now with a 6-game winning streak against the Noles.
39 games ago, 2005, September 3rd. Darren Moore, 16-yard touchdown pass to Ty Gunn for TCU. Then it didn't help that Paul Thompson for Oklahoma.
Labor Day weekend 2005. College football is back, and immediately nothing goes according to plan. TCU at Oklahoma. The Horned Frogs haven't beaten a top 10 team in 45 years. Adrian Peterson, last year's Heisman runner-up, is supposed to run wild. Instead, TCU holds him to 63 yards and wins 17-10. It's Oklahoma's first home loss since 2001, their first September loss under Bob Stoops, ever.
It's an ACC conference matchup between Miami and Florida State. But Miami rides into town with a 6-game winning streak against the Noles.
That night, Florida State hosts Miami on Monday Night Football. The Seminoles have lost 6 straight to the Hurricanes. Miami's supposed to be back. Instead, a botched field goal snap with 2 minutes left preserves a 10-7 Florida State win.
He is the punter. That could have been handled.
The streak is over, but we're just getting started.
Down here on the floor of the big house. Folks, I've been down here for about an hour, and I've never seen anything quite like this in September. For the first time ever, Ohio State and Texas over in the tunnel.
September 10th, 2005, Ohio Stadium. 105,000 fans at the Horseshoe. Number 2 Texas walks into Columbus to face number 4 Ohio State. This is Mac Brown's chance to prove he can win the big one. Texas hasn't beaten a top 10 team in 8 tries under Brown. The critics call him Coach February, great at recruiting, can't win when it matters. Vince Young throws 2 picks. He looks human for 3 quarters. Ohio State leads 22-16 late in the 4th quarter. Then Young leads a 6-play, 67-yard drive in the final minutes. On the game-winning touchdown pass to Limas Swede with 2 minutes and 2:37 left, Young drops a dime. Texas recovers the fumble on Ohio State's next play.
Fumble, no question. Ball loose. Texas, Robson's got it to the 20-yard line.
Game over. Texas 25, Ohio State 22. Mac Brown finally beats a top 10 team. Texas is legitimate. That same day, Charlie Weis, in his 2nd game as Notre Dame's head coach, walks into Michigan Stadium and beats the 3rd-ranked Wolverines 17-10. The Irish are back. And a few hours west, Iowa State shocks 8th-ranked Iowa 23-3 when quarterback Drew Tate goes down with a concussion. September is eating its young. Alabama is playing Southern Mississippi. The game is tight. Then this happens. 4th and 12. Tyrone Prothro goes up for a pass, but Southern Miss defensive back Jasper Falk is all over him. Somehow, and you have to see it to believe it, Prothro reaches around both sides of Falk's body and catches the ball while they both tumble into the end zone. ESPN would later rank it the 8th greatest catch of all time. Alabama wins 30-21, and Tyrone Prothro becomes a household name. Hurricane Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast just before the season began. The Superdome, an iconic venue, is closed for the entire year. LSU's home opener gets moved to Arizona. Tulane is homeless. The Sugar Bowl has to relocate to Atlanta. On a Monday night in late September, LSU finally plays at home against 10th-ranked Tennessee. Tiger Stadium is packed with 80,000 fans, many of them evacuees, many of them just desperate for something normal. LSU leads 21-0 at halftime. Then they collapse. Tennessee wins 30-27 in overtime. Sports were supposed to be the medicine. Instead, it just hurt more.
But head into Happy Valley now. There's pride once again in this paradise, a solid sense of identity.
We are Penn State.
Penn State hasn't been relevant in years. 4 losing seasons in the last 5. Joe Paterno is 78 years old. People are whispering that maybe it's time for him to retire. October 8th, 2005. Beaver Stadium. Whiteout. 109,893 fans. Penn State versus 6th-ranked Ohio State under the lights. The Nittany Lions win 17-10. Linebacker Paul Posluszny is everywhere. Defensive end Tamba Hawley, a refugee from Liberia who learned English after arriving in America at age 10, strip sacks Troy Smith in the final 2 minutes to seal it. Penn State is 6-0, and Joe Pa is back.
And making their appearance here at Notre Dame Stadium, coming out now. It looks like they're in the green jerseys, surprising everyone to the delight of the over 80,000 fans. Here come the Irish in green. This is a team, as defending national champions, not bothered by much of the hoopla. In fact, they're amused by some of it. They won't be intimidated. Here are the top-ranked Trojans.
October 15th, 2005. Top-ranked USC travels to Notre Dame Stadium. The entire college football world is watching. The Irish, in their green jerseys under the lights, hang with the Trojans blow for blow. Brady Quinn throws for over 300 yards. The game goes back and forth. With just over 2 minutes left, Quinn dives into the end zone to give Notre Dame a 31-28 lead. But Matt Leinart has other plans. He drives USC down the field. 4th and 9 from the Notre Dame 26, the season on the line. Leinart finds Dwayne Jarrett for 61 yards.
Just stop!
Now it's 4th and goal from the 1. 7 seconds left. Leinart pushes forward. He's stopped. The clock hits 0. Notre Dame students storm the field. Wait, there's a review. 7 seconds back on the clock. Leinart takes the snap, pushes toward the goal line. He's stopped again, but Reggie Bush, this is the controversial part, pushes Leinart from behind into the end zone. The Bush push. It's illegal to push a runner forward. The refs don't call it. USC 34, Notre Dame 31. The streak continues. The Trojans are now 28-0, but everyone knows USC survived. They didn't dominate. This game was huge in my household. As a Virginia Tech fan, the Hokies were sitting at number 3 behind Texas and USC, so we needed one of those teams to lose. When the Bush push happened, I literally scared my kids yelling at the TV. Also that day, West Virginia and Louisville play a triple overtime thriller. Steve Slayton, a freshman, scores 6 touchdowns. West Virginia wins 46-44 on a failed 2-point conversion. And in Charlottesville, Virginia shocks 4th-ranked Florida State 26-21. Bobby Bowden has no answers for quarterback Marcus Hagans. October 29th, 2005, Boone Pickens Stadium. Oklahoma State leads Texas 28-9 at halftime. Here we go again. Another big game, another Texas letdown, except this time Vince Young says no. He opens the second half with an 80-yard touchdown run on the 3rd play. Then another touchdown run. Then a 21-yard touchdown pass. Texas scores 38 unanswered points and wins 47-28. Young finishes with 267 rushing yards and 239 passing yards, 506 total yards, a school record. The first player in NCAA history to rush for 250 and pass for 230 in the same game. The Heisman race just got very interesting.
Tonight, it's an ACC Coastal Division showdown between number 5 Miami and the 3rd-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies.
November 5th, 2005. Lane Stadium, 3rd-ranked Virginia Tech is undefeated and hosting 5th-ranked Miami. The Hokies are steamrolled. Miami wins 27-7, and it's not that close. Virginia Tech quarterback Marcus Vick commits 6 turnovers. The Hokies' national championship dreams die in Blacksburg. Miami rolls through Lane Stadium, and just like that, Virginia Tech's perfect season goes up in smoke. I was at that game, and yes, it sucked. LSU beats 4th-ranked Alabama 16-13 in overtime. Jamarcus Russell throws an 11-yard touchdown to Dwayne Bowe in overtime to knock the Crimson Tide out of the national championship race. Auburn beats 9th-ranked Georgia 31-30 on a last-second field goal, set up by a wild 62-yard pass on 4th and 10 that nearly turned into a fumble in the end zone. South Carolina, yes, South Carolina, beats 12th-ranked Florida 30-22. Steve Spurrier beats his old team for the first time. It's South Carolina's first win over Florida since 1939. The SEC is eating itself alive.
This is the most anticipated game maybe ever in the Central Valley of California, and for the nation's #1 ranked team, the USC Trojans. Fresno State just kind of this pesky gnat.
November 19th, 2005. The Coliseum. USC versus 16th ranked Fresno State. Reggie Bush puts on a show for the ages. He rushes for 294 yards on 23 carries. He catches 3 passes for 68 yards. He sets a Pac-10 record with 513 all-purpose yards. USC wins 50-42. Bush wins the Heisman over Vince Young probably because of this game. That same day, Ohio State quarterback Troy Smith leads an epic fourth-quarter comeback at Michigan. Down 21-19 with 4 minutes left, Smith completes 7 of 8 passes and leads the Buckeyes on a game-winning drive. Ohio State wins 25-21. December 3rd, 2005, 3 conference championships, all the drama you could want.
30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, a sea of orange washed into Reliant Stadium. A sellout crowd of more than 71,000 made its way inside, with at least 65,000 of those cheering for the South Division champ Texas.
Reliant Stadium in Houston, Vince Young's hometown. Texas leads 42-3 at halftime. Final score, 70-3. 70-3 in a championship game. Young accounts for 4 touchdowns in less than 3 quarters. He completes 14 of 17 passes for 193 yards and rushes for 57 yards. His Heisman campaign just got a massive boost. Mac Brown wins his first conference championship. Texas is going to the Rose Bowl. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, USC is demolishing UCLA 66-19. Reggie Bush rushes for 260 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lendale White adds 154 yards and 3 scores. It's a coronation. The Trojans are 12-0, winners of 34 straight. They're going to the Rose Bowl. The stage is set. #1 USC versus #2 Texas for the national championship in Pasadena. The 2 teams have been ranked 1 and 2 all season long. The BCS finally got it right. Willie Reed returns a punt 83 yards for a touchdown.
Reed's got the punt to the 45, midfield. Reed's in a foot race for the end zone. The game's first touchdown.
Florida State, coming off 3 straight losses, stuns 5th-ranked Virginia Tech 27-22 to win the ACC's first championship game. Nobody saw that coming. I'll just leave it at that. In Atlanta, DJ Shockley leads 13th-ranked Georgia to a 34-14 destruction of 3rd-ranked LSU. The Tigers, who could have played for the national title if Texas or USC had lost, get embarrassed. The SEC is out of the national championship picture. Reggie Bush wins the Heisman Trophy with 2,541 points. Vince Young finishes second with 1,608. Matt Leinart is third with 797. Bush ran for 1,740 yards and 16 touchdowns. He caught 37 passes for 478 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 8.7 yards per carry, but the whispers are already starting. Young might have been the best player in college football. He just didn't get the hardware.
The 2006 FedEx Orange Bowl. Champions of the Big Ten, #3 Penn State. Champions of the ACC, Florida State.
Penn State faces Florida State in the Orange Bowl. 3 overtimes. Penn State wins 26-23. Joe Pa's magical season continues.
At the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, the Ohio State Buckeyes 9-2. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish 9-2.
Ohio State crushes Notre Dame 34-20 in the Fiesta Bowl. Charlie Weiss's first season ends with a thud.
The matchup, the Big East champions and the Southeastern Conference champions. It's the Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Bulldogs of Georgia from the Georgia Dome.
West Virginia stuns Georgia 38-35 in the Sugar Bowl. Freshman Steve Slayton rushes for a Sugar Bowl record 204 yards. The Big East gets its respect, but everyone's waiting for one game.
At the Rose Bowl 2006, Bush, Leinart, Young, and their legion. By consensus, the teams ranked 1 and 2, with nary a whisper of dissent.
The most hyped game in college football history. USC, 34-game winning streak, 2-time defending national champions, 2 Heisman winners in the backfield, trying to do something that's never been done, win 3 straight national titles. Texas, 19-game winning streak, 2nd ranked all season, Vince Young, and a massive chip on their shoulder. Because here's what you need to understand. Vince Young didn't just lose the Heisman, he got destroyed. Bush won in what the media called a landslide, 2,541 points to Young's 1,608. Young felt like he'd let down his team, his family, the university, the fans. He felt disrespected. And, as we're about to find out, you don't want to deal with a fired-up Vince Young. During the month of preparation leading up to the Rose Bowl, 80% of the talk was about USC. ESPN was doing stories about USC's opportunity to make history with a three-peat.
Now just hold on a second there, cowboy. This may be your first rodeo in a while, but for USC fans, it's our 3rd national title game in 3 years.
At the legendary pregame festivities, it was all Trojans. Snoop Dogg, Will Ferrell, the celebrities on the sideline. Everyone was there to see USC make history. But it was Mack Brown's Texas team that looked loose and confident. While USC was dealing with the pressure of perfection, Texas was having fun. They wanted this game. They'd been preparing for it all season. Keith Jackson is calling his final game.
So much hype has been heaped on this college football game.
The game kicks off. USC goes up early and seems to have all the momentum. Then Reggie Bush makes a boneheaded play. He tries to lateral the ball near the Texas 18-yard line. Fumble, Texas ball. After that, the momentum shifts. The game becomes a heavyweight fight. Texas and USC go back and forth, matching each other score for score. USC is pounding Texas with Lendale White, but Texas keeps answering. In the 4th quarter, USC extends their lead. Reggie Bush scores on a 26-yard touchdown run to make it 31-23. Texas kicks a field goal, 31-26. Then with 6:42 left, Matt Leinart hits Dwayne Jarrett for a 22-yard touchdown. USC 38, Texas 26. 12-point lead, 6.5 minutes left. Game over, right? The dynasty completes the three-peat, except Vince Young says no. A loose and excited Young leads Texas down the field, capping it with a 17-yard touchdown run, 38-33. 4 minutes left. USC tries to bleed the clock with Lendale White. They face 4th and 2 near midfield. Pete Carroll has a choice. Go for it and seal the game, or punt and give the ball back to Vince Young. Some questioned why Carroll kept Reggie Bush on the sideline, but White had been unstoppable all night. The Trojans go for it. White takes the handoff. At first glance, it looks like USC gets the push they need, but Texas defensive tackle Roderick Wright gets in the backfield and wraps up White around the hip. No gain. Texas gets the ball on their own 44 with just over 2 minutes left. No timeouts. After a frustrating start and facing 3rd and 12, Young hits Quan Cosby just short of the marker, but a face mask penalty gives Texas the first down. Young makes it look easy as he drives Texas inside the 10 with 30 seconds left. 3rd and 5 from the 8-yard line. Texas calls Menu 2, a play designed to give Young options. He throws into the end zone, incomplete. 4th and 5, national championship on the line. They call the same play. Young takes a look, nothing's there. He decides to put the game on himself. He looks right, nobody's open. He tucks the ball, he runs left. The USC defense converges. He cuts back. Touchdown. Texas 41, USC 38. Vince Young, 467 total yards of offense, 200 rushing, 267 passing, 3 rushing touchdowns. The greatest individual performance in a national championship game in college football history. The dynasty is over. The perfect season is over. The 34-game winning streak is over. Texas wins its first national championship since 1970. Keith Jackson on his final broadcast just called the greatest game in Rose Bowl history. The 2005 season gave us everything. Hurricane Katrina's devastation and LSU's heartbreak, Penn State's resurrection under a 78-year-old coach, Notre Dame's return to relevance, TCU's September shocker, Tyrone Prothrow's miracle catch, the Bush push, Steve Slayton's 6 touchdowns, Marquez Hagan's stunning Florida State, South Carolina beating Florida for the first time in 66 years. It gave us Marcus Vick stomping on Elvis Dumerville's leg and getting kicked off Virginia Tech's team. It gave us controversial calls in the Outback Bowl and the Alamo Bowl that the officials later admitted they got wrong. It gave us Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno, combined age 155, coaching against each other in triple overtime. It gave us the greatest player in college football being told he wasn't good enough to win the Heisman, then proving everyone wrong on the biggest stage in the sport. But most of all, it gave us one perfect January night in Pasadena, when Vince Young became a legend, when the greatest dynasty in modern college football fell, when college football gave us something we'll never forget. They say it was the greatest game ever played, and if you watched it, you know they're right. That was 2005.